Not you. Not you. Your organization's terrible. Your organization's terrible. Let's go. Go ahead. Quiet. Quiet. Go ahead. She's asking a question. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
Are you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional
Well, I
Hispanic
would.
Caucus?
I tell you what. Do you want to set up the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of yours?
Just a reporter.
No, set up the meeting.
I know some of them, but I'm sure
Let's
they're
go. Set up a
watching right
meeting. I would love to meet with the Black Caucus. I think it's great.
And we had the most beautiful piece of chocolate cake that you've ever seen. And President Xi was enjoying it. And I was given the message from the generals that the ships are locked and loaded. Look, he's a showboat. He's a grandstander. The FBI has been in turmoil. You know that. I know that.
And I love all people, rich or poor. But in those particular positions, I just don't want a poor person. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? This is a long time ago. Sold his company for a tremendous amount of money. And he went out and bought a big yacht. And he had a very interesting life. I won't go any more than that because you're Boy Scouts, so I'm not going to tell you what. Should I tell you? Should I tell you? Oh, you're Boy Scouts, but you know life. You know life. North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
Fire and fury like the world has never seen. Hey, that could be the slogan of Iowa primary on Monday.
I found it interesting that Vivek dropped out.
He wasn't gonna have a chance. Like he did like better than what I expected. Like I honestly expected him to pull like 5%, but like that.
Yeah.
You know, him pulling 8%. You know that's he's almost getting a tenth of the vote there. So I mean,
so is it down to Trump and DeSantis?
No,
Haley else dropped
Haley
out.
too.
Oh, she didn't drop out yet. Okay.
No,
I thought she dropped out.
No,
that was her dentist. Never mind.
She said, yeah.
Dentist did that. Okay. No. I couldn't remember because I was like, man, I thought I saw something about her dropping out, but then I remember Justin was like, oh, that was Dennis. You know, thanks Dennis or something like that on his post.
God bless you.
The best is the double Dennises. Whenever Dennis does the Nikki Haley's dropping out, and then you have all of the other Dennis accounts that are spoofing other people that then start to repost it and get it and really get it circulating, and then people really start to lose their shit. That's my favorite because I am one of those. It brings me great joy.
You just like to see the chaos. Like
I am here for whatever creates the biggest shit show. That's
like Justin is. If Justin was playing Dungeons and Dragons, he would be like the chaotic neutral. Like he would just want to see the world burn. Like just like it doesn't matter.
Have we talked?
What side?
Have we done an episode where we talked about the quadrants? Like I did one of those tests, and it's one of those things where everybody wants to be like the chaotic good, you know. And then I do the test, and every time I do the test, I'm actually lawful evil. Man.
I remember that we did the shopping cart one, and I thought lawful evil, but I don't remember. I'm the one where I don't put it in the bin maybe, but I group it with other carts, you know. So at least when they come to wrangle them up, they're all in one place. But you know, depending on my mood, I'm not putting that fucker back.
I think that's neutral good. It's that you put the
neutral
cards.
Good.
Yeah, that's the neutral good. You put the cards together. They may not be where they're supposed to be, but they're together. The lawful evil is like you put it in the return thing, but they're all just like destroyed. Like they're all in there, but they may not. Like some of them are upside down. Yeah, like you just threw the bitch in there and said, "Fuck this." At least I got it in. Like that was the lawful evil. Like it's not done well, but it's done. Like
still more of a pain in the ass for the poor person getting the card.
Right.
Oh shit.
Maybe it was just wishful thinking on that she would have dropped out, but
I mean, you know, we
I was
could.
like, I saw it, and I was like, oh, happy that she's gone now. But yeah, no.
I feel like she's definitely the establishment pick, right?
Yeah. Her and DeSantis. DeSantis is
Vivek,
true,
and I haven't followed a ton of his stuff, but he just seems like, dare I say, downright like reasonable on a lot of shit compared to typical politicians. You know, it's like I really wanted him to be the guy just because like
Who?
it almost makes sense. You know, like in a realistic sense, but obviously that means it's not going to happen. So,
Like Vivek, you talking about?
Well, Vivek's running on he's running on like a Trump 2016 style of a campaign. Like, say the things that people want to hear. Kind of, you know.
I like boobies.
Yes, well, that too. Has he said that yet?
He seems legitimately intelligent. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't he
to a
say
typical
Bob's
politician.
though? Wouldn't he say Bob's and Virginia?
Yeah. Yes, he would be all the Bob's and Virginia.
Speaking of which, people, there was Babylon B made a good joke about if I could find it, the Babylon B just go to Babylon B's Twitter and they posted like Trump hires Vivek for his to run the 7-Eleven in the White House.
That's awesome. Do you think he'll make him VP? Now that he's stepped out and endorsed him, I think he's gonna. If not VP, he'll put him as something. He'll have to have something in the cabinet then.
Okay,
obviously.
so there are
unless he's going to do what he did to Christie and just totally.
There are certain boxes the VP typically needs to check. They need to be established politician of some sort, having been a governor, congressman, something. They need to be from a strong state that can pull support and get you some numbers. There are certain kind of.
It's a strategy. Like you have to game it.
No, I get that, but you want two unestablished people.
It's why you have Mike Pence. It's why Pence,
because he was the Midwestern kind of vote for.
I thought
instead of
a minority that could give good head. I thought that was like the new standard.
For
used
the
to be, you
Democrats.
had to have that be an intern.
Well, I'm just going
Monica
based off
Lewinsky for vice president, huh?
current VPs. I'm just like looking and thinking, you know, where are we?
Okay.
I thought that was the new standard.
I mean, you have to do Carrie Lake, even though she's not a governor.
But she's a established name who ran for governor, so
Yeah.
she would be.
She would make sense.
And she's a very pro-Trump. She's been very pro-Trump for most of her political career as well. So
yeah,
she would be a good. If they feel like they need to go with a woman, I think that's a. I think it's
wheel out Sarah Palin
or Kristi Noem. Like
Sarah
I think Kristi Noem may be the. That's who I'm thinking is probably the most.
Kristi Noem is not in good shape in her state, man.
The problem with Kristi Noem is she's from South Dakota and nobody gives a fuck. I mean, at least with Carrie Lake, you've got Arizona. You kind of get the Southwest. You can kind of pull Texas, Oklahoma in with that. Yeah, Kristi Noem's from South Dakota. Nobody fucking cares. Like, okay, cool. Like, you got Mount Rushmore, or yeah, that's it. Like, it's like the guy that was the former governor of North Dakota was on the debate stage, and he was easily probably the best like candidate on the debate stage in terms of just policy and talking about the Constitution and actually like making sense. Nobody gives a shit. He's from North Dakota. If it wasn't for the fact that they announced his name before the debate started, nobody would have known who the guy was. Yeah. Even people from North Dakota didn't know who he was.
I mean, what other governors are out there in the Republican Party that are actually just even decent? You have Rick Schneider, who was the governor of Michigan before Whitmer, but he also effed things up so bad that we got Whitmer.
You think Trump and DeSantis would like run together?
I think DeSantis wouldn't take that. I think he would balk at it.
I think there's too much animosity in the DeSantis camp. I think DeSantis himself probably would not be opposed to that, but the hardcore DeSantis bros, if he did that, it would be so nuclear for them that like I don't
just have a meltdown.
Yeah, I don't think he would do it just on the needs to save face side of it. Nikki Haley, like, what the fuck is why is she still in? Like,
Why?
Because
What did she do?
she thinks that if DeSantis drops, then essentially it becomes a two-person race between her and Trump. That's what the hope is. I think is that if DeSantis kind of like just is like I'm out, then she gets that vote. Like
No, the only reason she's in is because the establishment's paying her to be in. She's there as a spoiler.
Well, and like the Iowa primary, you don't have to be registered ahead of time. You can register same day and decide which primary you want to vote in. And so, like, there was one county where in order to prevent Trump from sweeping the entire state, Democrats in one county like got together and all went and voted for Nikki Haley just so that she could win one county so that Trump wouldn't sweep the state. Like, there was a lot of subversive elements involved in the primary to make Nikki Haley look better than what she was.
Didn't the Republicans do that to the Democrats though with Hillary?
No.
Didn't they attempt it?
No, there was too much going on with Trump. The 2016 with Hillary. Trump,
no, not 2016. This was, I want to say, 8 when she was running against Obama.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. I really did not give a single solitary shit.
Too young to remember.
Yeah, I was fresh out of college.
Can't vote yet.
I was fresh out of college, and I didn't fucking care. Politics was a waste of time, and I mean, it still is.
I just remember my grandfather in that election because he was registered Democrat and voting in the primary, and I just remember hearing him say, like, he voted for Hillary because ain't no way I'm voting for that rock your mama. And I always thought that was funny, but that was about the most I knew about primaries in 08.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, I voted in 12, but like it didn't really matter. Like I think that was whenever Ben Carson. I think I voted for Ben Carson in the primaries, and then he didn't win, so I was like, I'll go vote, but. You know,
was Ben the 999 guy, or was that somebody else?
999.
Yeah, those guy had his plan was like. It was 999 was his slogan. I can't remember who that was.
Ben Carson was 2016. He was the he was the guy that was a former surgeon. Like,
I gotta look this up.
I thought he ran in 2012 too.
I don't think so. No.
No, or
12. It was Romney and fuck. I can't remember who ran against Romney. It was
I don't know
John
who that
McCain.
is.
The
I thought
McCain.
some period in all those there was a black Republican doctor. I don't know if it was the same.
That's Ben Carson.
Kane, yeah, that's it.
Herman Cain was the 999 guy.
That's
Herman Cain ran against Trump or against Bush in 2000 for the Republican primaries.
We went to go see him speak.
Yeah, we're not only way back to Herman Cain.
And that was the first time I had heard of Ron Paul, because it was a dude out front screaming about Ron Paul, like literally screaming at the top of his lungs about Ron Paul.
It was all we had. We could just go in front of other places and scream.
Yes.
That was all we had back then.
Yes. See, I was trying to vote for the first black president, just not Obama.
Well, it was funny. I mean, Herman Cain was good. He was the best candidate in that field, but it was going to be Bush. It didn't matter that Herman Cain was the best candidate in the Republican field that year.
Well, wasn't Ron Paul running that year? Was that the year Ron Paul?
I don't think he ran in 2000. I think he ran in 08.
Was that the year that they?
It was either 8 or 12. It was either 8 or 12 when they just like completely fucked him over.
Yeah, it was kind of both. I think 12 is the recent enough where it's the where they like go with Santorum as second and then so and so's fourth or whatever. And completely negate him. He had a lot more following in 12 than he did 8.
Santorum, like
Santorum.
I don't know why people supported him.
So fucking whacked.
I'll
admit, when I was more of a neocon, I was like, ooh, this guy sounds better than most. And then like something about his like hanging out with his dead baby for like a couple days, or like some really creepy shit. Like his wife had a stillborn baby, and like they kept it, around for like a day or so. It was really weird.
Are they Jewish?
Probably not Jewish, but probably
No, they're friends
they're-
with him.
yeah.
No, I thought he was like very like. I thought he was like a big like the big like Christian.
Yeah,
he's
he was.
he's supposed to be like an evangelical, but I want to go back to this.
something like that. I want to say like on
Okay.
the crazier side of Christianity.
Okay,
Is
no.
Nikki
no,
Haley more like
no.
Sarah Palin? I think she's more like Hillary Clinton than Sarah Palin.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Sarah Palin was at least genuine. I feel like Nikki Haley is a subversive. Like she's there for a particular reason, for the deep state or the
Just
the
like Hillary was with Obama.
She is the preferred pick. So she's the one that's in, because the GOP does not like DeSantis. So for everything else,
She's the George Bush.
She's their girl.
Yeah, she's the George Bush.
Yeah,
she is exactly George Bush.
but they're finding out
the
what they're
GOP.
finding out. What the like at least what the donors and what everybody is finding out is that nobody cares about what the like establishment like picks anymore. Like that's their downfall. Is like they don't realize that, you know, before it was fine because before you had social media, before, you know, people could make memes and all this kind of stuff about it. Yeah, all I'll do is watch the TV, and then the TV would tell me these candidates are good, these candidates are bad, and so you would just without that filter, then it's just chaos. So that they don't know, and when, you know, Trump came in, it's just like, okay, it's Trump or nobody for a lot of people. So they just
I feel like they'll have a better handle on it though. After getting railroaded by Trump, I feel like the establishment will have a better handle on who
for
they
New
let.
Hampshire. Yeah.
I think who they'll let actually get through and not monkey around with it. I don't know. I feel like Trump got it because they didn't think he could, and so they didn't pay it any mind. You know.
But the thing with Obama and with Obama and McCain is that they would have won either way. You just had McCain was the neocon choice, and Obama was the world government order choice. That's
the same thing with Romney. Romney was just the white Barack Obama.
I don't know,
Is he
man.
still? Did he retire? Is he done?
Romney?
Yeah, he's.
Is Romney's
Isn't
is
he?
Romney's
he's
wife
about
a
to
man?
exit, right?
What?
Is Romney's wife a man? I'm just curious.
No, that's Obama.
Well, no, I know, but you said he's
Romney
like
too.
You said he's like the white Obama.
But
I'm
he
just
has
curious.
many wives though, so because he's Mormon.
One
remember?
of them in the basement probably is.
Yeah,
There's bound to be a man in there.
Keeps that one out of the spotlight.
Yeah, right.
he only.
What was
he
the
only
big?
keeps the
What
hot
was the
wife
big
on.
thing that everybody got pissy about with him? Like something about his dog being on the roof of his car or something like that. Like that was the big thing that pissed everybody off.
No, the thing I remember about Mitt Romney was his binders full of women.
Binders
that was.
full of women.
You don't remember that one?
I do. I remember it. I don't remember what it was about, but I
Yeah,
remember it.
I don't remember the context of it. I remember the binder
Okay,
full of
so
things, I don't know.
so what he said in one of the debates or something like that, like, would you be willing to pick like a woman to like head up, you know, part of your cabinet or something like this? And what he said is, yeah, you know, I've got binders, you know, full of these women's
Yeah.
names or whatever. And because he said binders full of women, they just cut that part and ran with it. Oh, he said he's got binders full of women. Look how misogynistic he is, you know. Whatever.
It's so funny what they pick on.
Yeah,
Like it's just don't pick on the dude's bad policies or the guy's shitty.
Because nobody cares.
because they
about
don't care about
policies.
that. Yeah,
People don't like the general public
not-
doesn't give a crap about policies. They don't know anything
It's
about
personal.
it. Like it's
Yeah, I
it's,
know.
You know, is this guy representatives? Oh, can I worship him? You know, like it's just I don't know. I think we need to go back to like tests at the poll booth where you have to fill out, you know,
Landowner.
it's multiple.
Landowner.
It can be matching. It can be matching, right? Like match up this candidate with this, like, you know,
with their
policy
policy
they support
Yeah.
or something. If you can't do it, you don't get to vote. Okay, that's one thing. And then you go back to landowners, and if you
I think if you
money
could
from
just
the
even go,
government,
you can
you're
if you
out,
can
like,
name
you know.
3 states, like, and then 5 states.
If you can name 5 states and their capitals, you get to vote twice.
Yeah, let's double it up. Yeah, that'd be great. Like, okay, my vote counts twice.
I don't know, man.
I'm all.
Voting's
I went after the 2020 election. Sometime in January of 21, I went and did like full rundown of like these are all of the stupid that should be put on people before they're allowed to vote. Like every Tom, Dick, and Harry should not be allowed to vote. You should have to be a property owner. You should have to pay taxes. You should have to pass an intellectual exam of some sort to prove that you actually have a functioning brain. Like, voting should not be for everybody.
Yeah.
It should be very restrictive, and only
the biggest
who should be voting.
And like our
the best thing
founders
for
knew
voting-
that, like that. But it's just so funny that people like change that definition of like, oh no, the founders would have wanted every. No, they wouldn't.
They very
You
specifically
understand?
put in there that who was allowed to vote at the time. Like it wasn't based on racism; it was based on do you actually have skin in the game.
Yeah.
Well, and I
And
think
it
they
is-
knew that if they didn't do that, that England could flood with people to come in and vote who England wanted, right? I mean, kind of like what they're doing now at the border.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're doing that, now. That's there's and unless you actually deport a bunch of these people or and absolutely have basically no immigration, it's going to continue happening, and that's what like a lot of people don't understand is that they're thinking that, oh yeah, if we just still allow 1 million immigrants a year, everything's fine or whatever, as long as they come through, get the rubber stamp. No, you can't keep doing this. Like it's unsustainable. Like regardless.
Yeah, I mean, the big question is what is Texas going to do about it? Because Texas has to take it to the Supreme Court. They kicked out a bunch of TSA people recently.
No, the CBP, the Border Patrol, they actually told them to get off our property because this is Texas land.
That's going to go to the Supreme Court.
Oh, it is. It is going to go to the Supreme Court, but I'm curious.
With the Supreme Court that we have, they may uphold it. I mean, that's a 10th Amendment thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Fuck the feds. Fuck them.
The best thing for voting, I've said it before.
If he does,
I want
that-
people
Hold on. Let Clyde
Let
speak.
Clyde talk.
Well,
Shut up.
well, if you get money from the government, you don't get to vote, and that's it, right? Whether it's welfare, whether you work for the government, and then like that cuts it, right? And then everything else, anybody else can vote, and you get
that's probably the
everything with
best
one rule.
That's probably the best way to go about it.
That's what I'm going to run on this show and that.
Well, you gonna pick Dag for your VP then? I think Dag's the best qualified.
All of your campaign stops, you'll be barefooted.
Yeah.
Bring your goat with you.
Bring go. I'll probably bring Mark too, and then I can pick up that demographic.
Look, you got to get the minority vote somehow, right?
Although the minority vote, can they actually vote under your thing?
I mean, they could potentially,
but
until he wins.
Property, they don't take
until he wins.
Assistance. And the ones that you want voting would be able to vote.
Would be able to vote, right? Yeah. Who wrote that? Kamala is established name for the largest state.
Me, I wrote that.
That's you. Why are you? Okay.
I'm having a conversation with 2-Bit in the chat while we're having a conversation on here. See, I can multitask. I can watch the chat, talk to people over there while also talking to y'all.
But why are you talking to them? They're not
Because
important.
y'all were talking about other stuff.
If they're important, they'd be here with us, but they're not.
Oh.
Wow.
Burn.
Well, I
The
mean,
person that shows up once a month.
technically, Jay has the link, so he could be here with us if he wanted to.
Watch him pop in now that you said that.
Is it like noon in Australia or something? Well, they're 12 hours ahead, so 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock there.
Yeah, they're probably winding down for the day.
I said that the other day. Isn't what I thought? I don't know. Australia, and somebody said no, they're not.
I think we should run on I think Clyde, you should run on a flat Earth policy.
Flat. Yeah, we'll get to the bottom of it.
He doesn't believe in it. It's hollow. He believes in
No, see, you don't have to believe in it though. That's it's actually better if you don't believe in it.
Do you think any of these politicians believe in anything that they say? Obviously, Trump doesn't.
I think there's a little bit of like he does believe that the country should be better and that business should be run better. That I do believe. I do think he does believe the economy should be better.
Take away the guns and have due process later.
I think they all believe in some of it, and then just they have to, in order to get the attention you need, you got to go to the extreme. You got to fluff it up. You got to, and then they do what they're told.
I mean, Obama was the glaring proof that they don't actually believe in anything that they say, because he was all against gay marriage until the election was coming back up. Then he was like all for it.
Right. I mean, I think. Because I think like they're human, and so they know what they need to say, they know what they need to do, and there's some things that they'll be okay with,
bend on,
compromise on, and I think too, like, I don't know.
I understand changing your views, because I've changed from like complete neocon when to libertarianism, and now I don't know what I am. But I understand you changing views on stuff or learning new things and changing views. But these people that have run everything, like the Obamas and even the Romneys, don't actually believe in anything. They just say whatever they have to say to be elected.
Yeah, and but I think down they believe something, and there's probably like grains of it if you could distill it all down. I think they, like you said, they know what they need to say to get elected, and so certain things they'll be willing to give up on. And then I think too, like when they get that, like, I don't know, politics is so dirty now, I'm sure, but I think when most people go to office in the beginning, like they actually probably think they can do something different. They probably actually think they can get something done. I don't think they realize, a lot of people, I think some of them are half retarded, and they don't actually realize when they get in there, if they get in there, how tied their hands will be. Right? I don't think that Trump's going to go in.
I don't
there
even know if it's a half retarded thing.
Yeah, like
I don't even know if it's a half retarded thing. I just think that they've been taught it's one thing, and then they get there and realize that it's something completely different.
Right.
And that's what, if anything, that's what Trump showed us. Yeah. He went in to drain the swamp, and the swamp creatures got him, and they destroyed him.
See, that's the thing. That's like, that's why I talk about things from a certain perspective. Is like, I started out in like county politics, and then working with the district and the region for the different like state level representatives.
You are Fed. What the hell?
I am. I'm trying to tell y'all. Like,
said it sarcastically, but now I'm starting to like.
I'm trying to tell y'all. Like,
really believe it.
I came up from like ground level, county level, organizing a county. I was the county youth chair, and working with the district and the region for
the Republican Party, or
for the state representatives who were running for election, and then also working for the federal working with the campaigns for the federal representatives from that part of the state in the election. I went and I stumped for Bush in 2004, and went and traveled to Missouri and handed out flyers and did all that kind of bullshit. And I was the youngest. I was the youngest representative at the state GOP convention in Kentucky that year.
So do you feel bad?
How it really works and see how the game is really played, and once you understand it from the internal side, then when you see all the stuff, a lot of people come in from the outside and don't understand the way all that stuff works, and it's very much a fucking game, and it's dirty and stupid, and if you have a logical brain, it's not going to make a lot of sense sometimes, and you have to change the way you think whenever you go into looking at things from a political perspective. And a lot of people can't wrap their brain around that. You have to have a certain level of sociopathy just kind of hardwired into you to be able to to play that game. Like I have said, if I was smart and was thinking about it as a young man, instead of joining the Republicans and doing all that bullshit, I'd have gotten in with the Democrats, and I'd have established myself with them and really made a name for myself. And then
Tell them to get mint.
and then later on, I can just flip and I can stay a Democrat because I don't have to change my party. I can just change my position on stuff, and
the party has to change with you. I mean, that's
Right.
basically
If I'm
the
popular
AOC.
enough, they're going to have to play my game. And like I've also talked about, like talking about the way Iowa does their primaries. Indiana is the same way. Like if we were smart, we would organize as like state and local GOPs, and like put a good candidate in the primary, and then make sure that enough people show up to vote for him so that he is the candidate. And then everybody else pick the worst Democrat candidate and go vote for them. That way you get a really bad candidate on that side that's going to be easy to knock off. You don't actually have a challenger come the main or the regular election. Like,
Okay, so here's my problem with that. Is that to me that's election interference.
it's completely legal. It's 100%
Part of the game. Okay.
That's
I
the
just
game. That's that's
maybe,
what I said.
maybe I'm just
If you want to
doing-
play by the
rules.
level of sociopathy that you're ready to play the game, and most people don't have that. Like you have to be able to turn off the good part of you that says that's immoral, that's wrong, that's cheating, and say fuck it. Winning is the only thing that matters. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, now saying that, in 2008, I voted for Hillary in the Democratic primary over Obama because I didn't want Obama.
'Cause you're
I'd
racist.
rather have dealt with Hillary. Yeah, very much.
You can try to spin it however you want. We know.
That's why I was doing missions in New York during that time. Because I was racist.
Yeah. Oh, that explains it. That explains
That's
why you voted
that's
for
just your
Hillary.
like superior white man complex. You gotta go. you know.
No, see, I was
Save him, yeah. That's exactly what we were doing. We were trying to save everybody.
No, he was going to visit his
Well, in one
rabbi
way, you
brother.
were.
No, he was going to visit his rabbi brother. So it was-
I was digging some tunnels. Hey, the
But,
money was good.
Hey, take what you can
They
get.
pay you in like matzahs. And
But you were talking
yarmulkes.
about like just looking at local politics, Justin. Like it was funny to see like a lot of the people are up in arms in our city. Like they recently had something where the local city government was like saying that people couldn't own chickens and couldn't have a garden of a certain size. Like they were trying to do some kind of zoning or whatever for that kind of stuff. And the people were just like, the hell, like like what is this? And they didn't understand. They were trying to figure out like, oh no, like you're supposed to represent our interests. Like that's what you're supposed to do.
I don't
And then-
represent anybody's interest but theirs.
yeah, exactly. Like they were just like, no, like we they gave some BS reason of why, and then
Because
they
the
just wanna-
grocery store, because Walmart was paying them off to keep you from growing your own damn chickens.
Well, no, they just want more zoning for other crap. Like they want to have more. They want to make this city it's a very small city, but they're into kind of a suburb metro like
Yeah,
semi-metro kind of thing.
clean it up, get the riffraff out of there.
No, it's not even that. They want it to be like a city type area, and this is a
They allowed Trey to
countryside.
be there, man. They love the riffraff. The gingers.
But see,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Got the ginger
so
vote.
what happened with that? What did the people do? Like, how far is it going?
I mean,
They did
they're
nothing. It was,
well, no,
that's what they'll do. They'll
no,
do nothing.
they didn't do nothing. They went to
They'll
the
complain for a day
meetings.
and they'll go away.
No, they've consistently been going to the city council meetings and raising a complaint every time. But that's just not
But-
going to work. It doesn't do
but-
anything
right,
because
no.
they don't
But-
care. Like
No, because they
Have-
need to
have
actually
people-
to do something
mayor-
means that they would run against them. They would
yeah.
give them hell and not give them a moment of peace until they go against it. That's the only way you're going to change it.
Yeah,
Have the
we've got
people-
elections coming up next year. So next year, a lot of people were, basically they're like, oh, well, I'll vote for somebody different, and maybe that happens. I don't know.
have
but
have
if-
people given up their chickens or shrank their gardens? Though is what I'm wondering.
No, but it hasn't been enforced yet, so I don't know
Okay.
how.
I saw an article the other day about Illinois, and they passed that one of their safe type acts where you gotta all these different assault type weapons, you had to register them. You could still keep them, I guess, but you had to register them, and like 1% or 2% of the population registered it by the deadline of like December 31st. And so I wonder, as we see more of these kind of ridiculous,
was it all the
absurd
people in the
things,
other city registering theirs?
yeah, I'm sure that's where the 2% came from.
Yeah.
All the people in Chicago decided to
Chicago, yeah.
finally register there. But like, I think like with the times and with everything that we've been seeing through the last like 6-7 years of government overreach, I think people are kind of starting to realize that like more people are going to be pushing back or just not listening, right? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to come give me a ticket because I have a chicken? Like, who's going to, what, like, I'm just not going to pay it. If everybody does that, I think people are starting to realize that altogether we can actually do something by doing nothing.
Yeah, but nothing will happen until the guy giving you the ticket is on the ground.
Right.
Like shit won't happen until that happens.
Right. And well, to a degree, but I think too, if you give out 100 tickets and nobody actually pays it, like, are they going to foreclose on all your houses?
But then, yeah, they will. They will. They'll take your fucking house over that stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I think as it gets escalated, though, I feel like you'll start to see.
You can't do it at scale.
That guy on the ground.
You can't do that at scale, though. Like, so what Claude's saying.
They will. They will.
They can't. They don't have the level of enforcement.
They don't have the means to do it. They are the physical incapability of most of these like local forces.
The people will be compliant, though. The people, 90% of the people will be compliant.
That's slipping.
Look at COVID. COVID was the perfect example.
Yeah, but I think COVID
people
is
still wearing
the exception
masks
to the rule. Like
COVID changed a lot of people's view on that kind of stuff.
And that's what I'm thinking. Is that like based on what we saw with COVID and what we're learning about COVID?
Not enough, though. I don't think it changed it enough.
Well, it'll never be enough, but it's going to be enough to make a difference. Like what you consider enough is like overrun the entire establishment with
Yeah, I'm black pilled though.
200 million. You are way too black pilled. 200 million people overrunning the entire federal government. Like that's what's enough. But that'll never fucking happen. But 150 people in a county telling the sheriff's department or the sheriff's office go fuck yourself, that will make a huge difference. Like
because they can't send
example, like the people who are mad about the chickens thing. Fuck, I've got a buddy that ran for county or for town council in Poseyville, which is a little nothing town. Because
that's a great
nothing town, but he ran for town council because they were imposing new fines. They were using the public buildings and stuff for stuff they shouldn't have been, and so he ran. And he has in less than a year, he's done away with a bunch of the fines, a bunch of the bullshit, like just by him running for that position and then telling everybody else who's on the council with him, like, we're not going to fucking do this anymore. Like, we got rid of the guy who was pushing all of this. Now we run shit and we run shit right. There's another guy here in Indiana, Brandon Harnish. He ran for city council and has been doing the same thing. He's been kicking people. He has more or less overrun the council and has started kicking people out of the public health department, like getting stuff done in his city. The solution to Trey's problem of no chickens is all the people who are pissed off about the chickens, pick a candidate,
go get a chicken,
get them in the fucking council, and then run all of the worthless bastards out. Like, that's the way you do it. You're not going to do stuff at a federal level. The federal level is completely royally fucked, and you should forget it. You should almost completely forget the state level. Where you can do good is in your city, in your county, and possibly in your like region. Like I can't remember what we're district 8, I think. You can actually accomplish something in a 7 to 10 county range.
Well, it's just like even if you get it in your city or your county, then a lot of times like the other cities and other counties look at what the other cities and other counties are doing, and they use that as a benchmark for what they should be doing. And that's how you proxy a lot of like that's how a lot of the political like will is proxied, because the reason that they're doing that chicken order, whatever thing, is because of the fact that they're looking at the city over next to them that's trying to expand and grow and become a bigger city, and they want to do the same thing. So that's what they're basing it off of, another city and their policy.
Is it that, or is it lobbyists pushing?
I mean, this is a city,
So that
a
you
small
have to
city.
go-
Lobbies don't mess with county.
Yeah, they don't care.
The lobbies don't give a fuck about a county politics. The only way a lobby has anything to do with it is if you have a power plant and they can influence the state in order to push for stuff with the power plant stuff. But
if you have a Walmart,
but even then, Alabama Power got like some serious pushback. They were trying to basically do eminent domain on some people's land, and because of the fact that they pushed back on it, they basically got told to get bent, and they couldn't take that land. And so there is some levels to like a degree that once you kind of get that proxy of, you know, the people's will and get somebody in there who actually will say, hey, tell them to get bent, and then that's how you get some of the actual change.
Right, and the lobby side of stuff, like even if you organize at a county level, like the solar plants have been a big push around here, and there are and people who understand what that does to the farmland, what that like the downside of the solar plants, they're getting people in on these county and city councils, and they're pushing back against that. Like at the end of the day, if you stop it where you live, then you stop it. Like the lobbies can't do shit if you at the local level don't allow them to. Like,
do you guys ever read Desert Solitaire?
What's that? Who's that by?
Nope.
Ed Abbey, Monkey Wrench Gang. No. All right, never mind.
Send it to me. I'll read it.
We'll leave it at that.
One of these shows where like none of y'all show up, everybody's got stuff going on. I'll just sit here
start
and read.
reading.
Yeah.
Steve, is that your baby I hear?
Nope. I don't have babies.
That's mine.
Mine are 16 and 18.
Only one person on here that's had babies.
Yeah, he's probably going wild right now. They're home because of the winter weather that we got. So
what did you guys get?
Winter weather.
What did you get?
Frozen. Everything's frozen here, man.
Speaking of everything being frozen in Michigan.
Coach, looking forward towards Detroit. The weather has been a factor in some of the playoff games, even for the most prepared teams. Today, it's 13 in Detroit, which doesn't compare to some of the temperatures we tend to drop to. Any special plans to acclimate the team to not only endure, but perform in those kind of frigid temperatures should you face them in Detroit?
Hold, stop.
We play indoors, right? They got a dome.
What the
fuck? No, nothing planned. We're indoors, and we only have to be outside for 20 seconds getting off the bus, going under the thing, so we'll be okay.
Oh my God.
Did she not know that they have a dome?
No.
Journalism at its finest.
I'm curious what who that journalist was.
That's not a journalist. That's
okay. I use journalism is a disparaging word in my opinion. So
if they can't even research whether or not the stadium has a dome,
I mean, she knew Detroit was going to be 13 degrees. What the fuck? You can't even look and see if it's inside. Like, are you that?
If you're the one who's covering playoffs,
Steve's done.
Like if you're the one who's covering Tampa Bay playoff games, shouldn't you pay attention to some of the other games and like have an idea of what's going on? And like they'll just throw anybody out there to cover
that's
sports.
a good question.
Yeah. He should have called her every name in the book, man. He should have just went off on her. Oh my God.
Todd Bowles is like a consummate professional. It's one of the big knocks on Bowles is he's just so boring. Like, oh my gosh, there was one game.
He's not interesting like Mike McDaniels or anybody else.
Right. There was one game. It was like the most Todd Bowles game ever. Like they had a chance with like a minute and 40 seconds and had the ball on like the 40-yard line. and had a chance to try to score going into the half. And instead they came out, ran 3 dive plays straight up the middle, and and then just ran the clock out. It's like, throw the fucking ball, take a shot, do literally anything. You're down by 2.5, or you're down by like 10 points. I can't remember what it was. I think they were down by like, I think they were down 17 and going into the half. It's like, just fucking do anything. Try to make a play. Try to like show that you've got some life. They run the ball 3 times and then let the clock run out and go into the half. Like, this is the most Todd Bowles thing ever. Like, don't take any risks. Don't do anything. Like, yeah, so he's not the
it's
type
a far
of-
cry. It's a
He's
far
not the
cry
type
from when
to
Warren
lay in
Sapp
on
was
the
on that
reporter.
team.
No,
Oh,
Bowles is the Tampa Bay coach. Yeah, I mean, you got Baker Mayfield. Like, that dude,
Yeah.
you tell that dude, go run around in circles and throw the ball 70 yards downfield. He's
He'll
going to
do
fucking
it.
do it. Yeah. Like, you've got a quarterback that's enough of a dumbass that he will take a shot on that.
And sometimes it works. And sometimes, like, occasionally it works. Wow.
Right, trust the process. Let Baker be Baker. Let
Yeah.
Baker cook.
Yeah. Better than letting Russ cook, I guess.
Well, his name is Baker. He's supposed to.
I need to find out who that journalist was, man. I'm that thing just pisses me off beyond anything.
That's got to be Carlos saying, "How about them boys?" As a Packers fan, I have now accepted that there is no chance we get a good draft pick. So instead, fuck it, let's win the Super Bowl. Like,
You
to
would
hell-
be a
to
Packers
hell
fan.
To hell with being good for the next 10 years. Let's win one right now, and then we don't have to worry about it anymore.
That's why I'm happy for you, Justin.
Jordan Love's legacy will be sealed in year 1, and nothing else will matter.
And then he'll suck the rest of the time. It'll basically be like Aaron Rodgers 2.0.
Favre gave us 1. Rodgers gave us 1. If Love gives us 1, we got it. That's more than the Lions will get in Steve's lifetime.
Fuck you. You're an asshole, man.
Oh, come on.
You're right, but you're an asshole.
See, they're gonna make they made the playoffs this year, and they're not gonna make the playoffs for the next 15.
Hey, they're
20 years.
getting to the second round, man. It's a huge monumental.
Who do they play now?
Moment.
But you guys are also undefeated. You guys have never lost a game at Ford Field in the playoffs.
Did you see the meme I posted in the group? It was like Stafford finally delivered a playoff win to the Lions.
As a
we
Stafford
should
fan,
talk about Stafford's wife, man.
Is she
Bitching,
hot?
they were booing
Yeah.
her,
Oh yeah.
and then later
But
admits,
they
like,
do-
oh
they do
yeah,
hate
they weren't
Stafford.
booing me. Well, she
They hate
admitted later
Stafford.
they were booing me,
Yeah.
not my kids. Like, come on.
Yeah.
She was pre-hated. Everybody in Detroit hated her already. Like, she was just
Why?
so
I mean, she's like a gold digger.
yeah, and that was the push, gold digger, and then I think for a while she on one of the morning shows, like
I don't know.
It
Like,
just had
probably-
really-
she probably
just
went on
really-
the View a time or two. or
really
something.
crappy views. And during COVID, she was bitching about COVID, but she was bitching every year about being in Detroit. Like, she hated being in Detroit, and she was bitching about it all the time. So the fans
you
just
blame
hated
her?
her. Well, no, but I mean, I got out of Detroit 20 years ago.
As every good person should.
Yes. Yes, we should.
The hellscape.
So what does Stafford's wife do? Because the only thing I'm finding is she threw pretzels at a Niners fan like 2 years ago or something. I mean, that's fucking hilarious. Just the fact that she threw
Probably
pretzels at
deserved
a
it.
Niners fan, I now actually like her even more. Like, I don't know that she could do any wrong after that.
I know one year when I went to the game where Sue stomped on the Packers guy, the only thing I remember was all the Packers fans were just the biggest assholes in the world. Like, just total assholes.
Yeah,
I mean, the
fucking
cheeseheads.
No, I mean, this dude
Oh,
was
yeah.
like cussing out a family in front of us because they all had Lion stuff on. I'm like, dude, you're in the Lion Stadium. What? Like, he's cussing
I
out
mean,
these
that's
like
football.
10-year-old kids. I'm like, it's not cool.
The kids.
Look, alcohol makes people do some interesting things for sure.
Yeah,
Or they
I
were
guess.
just dwarfs. He might have thought they
It
were
was-
just dwarves.
It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to be there.
Well, I mean,
is
it
it
is
more
embarrassing.
embarrassing than being a Lions fan? I mean, like, really?
Well, no. I mean, it's just as embarrassing as being a Lions fan. That's why we. Did you watch the video we played on Monday about the Lions fans? Oh, you got to go back and watch that one.
I know as much about cricket as I do football.
You got to know what a crumpet is to understand cricket.
So I mean, I have an idea of like where I know the teams, but after that, I don't know.
The only reason I know anything about cricket is my wife watches all the British murder mysteries. So there's usually some kind of cricket game going on during those.
People getting murdered with paddles. Are you sure that's British?
Isn't there a cricket
love
game
mysteries?
that's been going on for like 40 years or something, and they just never let it end?
I don't know.
How do those games even
Sounds
end?
gay.
It's basically like baseball in a way where they have extra innings type. I don't know like exactly the rules, but it's that kind of idea. Yeah.
It's just baseball. A crappy sport. It's not, whatever.
I'm sure Vivek's family and Nikki Haley's family, they're big cricket fans.
I thought
What's
I thought
Nikki's
he's just a
original
tennis
name?
fan. He's just a tennis fan.
Nimrata.
I think that everybody in the press
Sacagawea?
should start referring to her as that name instead of Nikki Haley.
It's too
Yeah,
long.
but
That would piss her off. No, but that would piss
no, just call her
off.
Nim. Nim. Hey, Nim.
That would just. I mean, could you imagine how pissed
Nimrod?
off she would be?
Nimrod.
Call her
Yeah.
Nimrod.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, imagine if Trump like came back to Twitter and said, "Nimrod, Nikki Haley is terrible. She sucks." Nimrod Haley will never be president.
Do you think Trump will win in the Supreme Court? About
I
the
mean,
isn't it going up to the Supreme Court? The whole
the challenge for
the challenges
him
for the
getting
states.
yeah. I mean, he should win easily. Like I would think, but it's just going to depend on, I guess, how they decide to interpret it. Whether or not that's some kind of, I would think that has to be some national thing and not going to be a states' rights kind of issue or something like that. This depends on how they interpret it.
What's he going to the Supreme Court about?
Colorado and Maine removing his name from the ballot.
Okay.
I mean, even our legislature was smart enough to go, yeah, that's not going to fly. We're not going to do that.
Well, and
Michigan
Maine
was like, yeah, we're not going to.
Maine didn't even go through the state legislature. It was the what was it? The Secretary of State just made a unilateral decision. Like that should be grounds for removal. Like that's.
I'm surprised Maine did that.
Hanging, not removal.
Well,
on YouTube,
it wasn't Maine. It was the.
Well, I know, but I'm
Minecraft,
still like,
Yeah, it was just a unilateral decision on her part. Like there was no democratic process involved in it. She decided to remove Trump from the ballot, and
because the Secretary of State controls the election procedures. Right. So
now I think we'll see more of that if he doesn't win. I think we'll see at least 20% of the states try that.
Josie Tyler Yankees post on Twitter. He said, "My wife said, why can't we just let him win so we don't have to do this anymore? Like just let him win. He gets to serve another 4 years, and then we all get to move on. Like just this." That makes me worry a little bit about Tyler's relationship with his wife, because she's probably just like, all right, I'm gonna take one and like just do me and let's move on so we can all get on with the day. That's why he has all she's just like, fuck it, whatever. Just get it all
spread them. All right, come on.
Who is this?
Oh my
Libertarian
God.
Podcast Review.
Clyde, do you have heat in your house?
He's a famed internet lawyer.
Yes, we have heat.
Because you're wearing like a coat and a hat. Looks like you're really
it's
cold.
a hoodie. It's a hoodie. Okay. I am cold because we live down south, and like when they built houses, this is built in '97, so that it wasn't. I mean, it's not insulated the best. There's certain.
I was just concerned that you don't have heat.
Well, we do. I run the wood stove, but the problem is where I do this, it's out in the corner, and I got to shut the door. So it's still cold from the night before, and the fire this morning didn't have time to warm everything up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude, I still could. We have heat, but I can still see my breath in the house when I woke up this morning. And like now, looking at the temperature, we're up to a blistering 3 degrees.
Whew.
Dang, man, you're colder than we are.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was,
miss
it was,
that.
it was below zero this morning, and then I think it's calling for snow tomorrow. We're gonna get like another 3 to 4 inches tomorrow afternoon.
It stopped snowing yesterday, about 9 o'clock at night. It started snowing on Friday, and it stopped yesterday. We have like 2 feet plus right now.
How typical is that in Tennessee, though? Like, do you guys get weather like that in Tennessee occasionally, or is this just like totally?
Yeah, like every other year, every 2 years, we get snow. Usually, it's it'll snow. Well, when I say snow that actually sticks.
Yeah.
But what'll happen is it'll get really cold. It'll snow. It'll warm up through the day, melt, and then it'll drop below freezing, and then you have to deal with a shit ton of ice after that the next day, and then rinse and repeat. But so far, we haven't been up above freezing since it snowed. Since it started snowing here Sunday, we've been below freezing the entire time.
Wow.
And Nashville roads are great on ice, like because they're all still.
Yeah, well, I will say, where I'm out in the boonies. I was driving on compacted snow and a little bit of ice, all like for 45 minutes before I even jumped on here. Like I had to get to the interstate before I actually had a paved road.
Yeah. See, and that's
Not paved,
the difference between the
plowed.
north and the south. Like up north, like y'all got salt trucks, plows, and everything to handle it. Like down
Yeah, but
here.
ice is ice, man. If salt trucks don't
Yeah, but
work
you
if it's under 10 degrees.
Yeah, well, but I mean, you can still get around on it. I mean, like it's not like, it's 30 degrees and it rains and oh my God, everything has to shut down.
Yesterday I didn't get anywhere, man.
Yeah.
Later, Trey.
It's much nicer on your cars, though.
Gonna be about that time. I got to take the kids to school.
All right.
I like
go,
this.
Go get them retarded.
Just don't drive like a retard.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.